So this is my first video on this channel, and I'm making this video to share with you guys my story and who I am and what it is I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I'm all sweaty right now. I just finished up with the gym, but I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, and I was tired of waiting, and I felt like I was finally at, a good point in my life to make this. But like I said, this video is going to be my story and about me, why it is I'm doing what I'm doing. But I want this channel and this account, my content, to be a documentation proof of my journey since day one of curating my reality and building the life that I'm going to have, becoming the man that I'm going to be. And I want to take you guys with me through that. I want to share with you guys my failures and my successes and the lessons that I'm learning along the way. And my goal is to make content towards my younger self, speaking almost to my younger self, because I truly believe that there is so many young men out there that share a similar mind frame and perspective on things as I do. And I want to create content that I needed to see when I was younger and I was still figuring shit out. That's my goal. But like I said, this video, I just want to share with you guys kind of my story and who I am, what it is I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. So I am 20 years old. My name is Logan. And ever since I was as young as I can remember, I've always known that this traditional route of things was just not for me. The whole graduate high school, go to college, get your degree, get a job, settle down, buy a house, work till you're 65, retire. It's always sounded just so mundane to me. And probably around the age like 16, 17, I found out what entrepreneurship was. And I knew that was it. It all started to click. And I knew that this is what I had to do. This is what I was going to do. I was going to make money online. That was it. But you have to understand, when I was, 16 in high school, I was kind of a weird kid in a way. I was popular and people knew me, but a lot of times it was, for the wrong reasons. And, around the age 15, I started to vape. And then around the age 16, I started to, smoke weed with my buddies. And that quickly turned into me being stoned every single day, all day long. And that developed an Adderall addiction and a pill addiction on top of it. And then I was going to parties every weekend and getting drunk every weekend. And I was just going down this horrible path. Horrible. So I was in no type of circumstance in my life or situation in my life to actually pursue entrepreneurship and what I knew I was supposed to be doing. I was completely consumed by my vices. And as I got older, probably around the age 18, I stopped smoking weed. I was 135 pounds because I was taking Adderall all the time, and I couldn't eat when I took it, and I lost a bunch of weight. I was 135 pounds at 6'1". You could almost see my rib cage when I took my shirt off. And I looked in the mirror, and I was disgusted with myself. I was fucking disgusted with the way I was living my life and the way I looked and the way that I thought. I was completely fucking disgusted. And so I made a change. I stopped smoking weed. I stopped taking Adderall. I stopped going to parties every weekend and getting drunk every weekend. I started hitting the gym. I started eating right. And I started to truly pursue, making money online, entrepreneurship. And because I knew that's still, even though I was living this way, it never left my mind. I never once thought, yeah, maybe not. I always knew this has to be it. So, I started to change my life around, graduated high school in 2024. And, all my friends, they were, picking what college they were going to, picking what major they were going to. I was talking to, my friends at the time and my peers and stuff. And, what major are you going into, whatever. They would tell me. And I would try to share this, perspective of mine of look, bro, if you if you just do this, though, like, you would have such more free financial freedom, geographical freedom. Like, this makes so much more sense, right? Like, why would you go into college and waste 4 years and not really learning? Like, and the funny part was 95% of people, of my peers, my friends, whoever that I told this to, didn't even disagree with me. They didn't even say, nah, bro, I don't agree. They didn't even disagree. Their reasoning was they couldn't miss the college experience. And I understand it. I understand the fun of it and the thrill and the excitement of it, right? And the freedom of it. But I knew in my head, when I graduate, if I can sacrifice these 4 years, these next 4 years that everybody's going to college, if I don't go to college and I can sacrifice these next 4 years of my life to putting myself through pain and suffering, to pursuing what I want to do, no matter how many times I fail, and it seems like it's never going to work, if I can just suffer for 4 years, then I can have 40 years of fun and freedom. But the alternative to this is live the college experience, have fun for 4 years, graduate college, be forced to get a job, and then have 40 years of pain and trying to play catch up. So it was a no-brainer for me. It was a no-brainer, and I feel like for every man, this should be a no-brainer. It sucks. It sucks being that 20-year-old kid that everybody thinks is just a dumbass and that is just making excuses for, not pursuing a career and not going to college. Everybody just thinks I'm this 20-year-old kid that's a dumbass. Meanwhile, I'm working my fucking ass off every day for this shit. I get up early. I have a job because I have to fund the business that I'm trying to build. I get up early. I go to my day job, my 9 to 5. I come home. I go to the gym. I eat my meal prep. And then I work on my business. And I spend the money that I earn in my day job on funding the business. And it sucks. It sucks. But it's never left my mind that it's all going to be worth it. If I can just sacrifice these next 4 years of my life to this pain, this suffering of going through this shit, then I'm going to be free. I'm going to be having fun for the next 40 years. Instead of not missing the college experience and having fun for 4 years and then suffering for 40. So that's where I'm at right now. Like I said, I'm working my day job. I'm broke. I'm dead broke. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. The business is getting expensive. There's things I have to pay for it. It's getting expensive. I have a girlfriend, so that obviously takes some money out of your pocket as well. But yeah, I'm broke right now. I'm a broke 20-year-old kid, and I have these crazy big dreams. And there's very few people that I can tell them to, because people just look at me like I'm nuts. They say, yeah, right, buddy. Good luck with that. Hope it works out for you. 4 years of going through shit and suffering for 40 years of success and fun. That's what it comes down to. And that's where I'm at right now. That's why I'm making this video. That's why I'm making this channel, to take you guys with me through my journey, through me building the man that I'm going to become, through me curating the reality that I'm going to have, the life that I'm going to have. I'm taking you guys with me because I think it is one of the most beautiful things when you can go back to somebody's first video. You can go back to where they came from, what they started from, and you can see 2-3 years down the road how far they have come as a person, in their business, with their content. You can see from the first video to where they're at now how far they have come. I think that's one of the coolest, most beautiful things, is when you can go back and see where they came from, see what they started at. That's why I'm making this video. That's my story. That's where I'm at right now. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm super excited to take you guys along with me through this journey and make documented footage proof of every step of it.